Cranial bones. So here's the frontal, parietal, occipital, and this is the external occipital protuberance, and it is an area of attachment for muscles that help hold our head up. And then this is the temporal. The temporal joint is right there. The mastoid process right there. The styloid process, which is right in there. The external acoustic meatus and the squamous part. And then we go inside. Okay, this is upside down. Okay, and this is the petrous part of the temporal bone. And it houses the middle ear and inner ear. And then the internal acoustic meatus, and that is actually located right in there. And the vestibular nerve, facial nerve, and the labyrinth artery pass through there. And then let's go to the sphenoid, which is right there. This is the lateral, and then this is the orbital sphenoid inside of there. And the superior orbital fissure, and the lacrimal and the frontal divisions of the ophthalmic nerve, the trochlear nerve, superior divisions of the oculomotor nerve, the abductus nerve, the nasal ciliary branch of the ophthalmic nerve, and the inferior division of the oculomotor nerve pass through that opening. And then internally, the sphenoid's greater wing and lesser wing, and the optic canal is right there, and the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery pass through there. The stella tertia and the pituitary gland sits on that. Okay, so the ethmoid bone is right here. The crista galli is right here. And this protects from the cribriform plate of the ethmoid bone. And the cribriform plate is right here. And that is a passage for all olfactory nerves. Okay, so sutures. The coronal suture is the frontal and the parietal, where they come together right here. The sagittal is in between the parietal, and then the lamboid is this one right back here. It's in between the parietal and the occipital. And then the squamous and the parietal is right here. And this is the squamous. Facial bones. Okay, the maxilla in the alveolar process, the nasal, the zygomatic, and the frontal bone and the maxilla come together to give the zygomatic arch. The ethmoid, right there, the vomer, and the ethmoid in the inferior concha um, form the bony nasal septum, and the inferior nasal concha separates the nasal cavity into two bilateral and symmetrical anatomical caves, and the mandible is right here, this part right here. This is the body. This is the angle right here, so this would be the angle. This is the ramus. This part of right here is ramus. The mandibular condyle is this right here. Oh, that popped out. And then the notch is right here. And then the coronoid process is right there. Right there. Vertebral column. There's four curves. There's the cervical, the thoracic, the lumbar, and the sacral. And the thoracic and the sacral are sacrals here and the thoracics here. Those are primary, and the cervical and the lumbar are secondary. In the cervical vertebrae, there's 7 bones, so it's C1 through C7, and the atlas bone is here, and the bone articulates with the occipital condyles of the skull. These joints allow you to nod yes, so it allows you to go like this. Okay, so the transverse process of all cervical vertebrae contain a transverse foramen through which the vertebral arteries pass through to service the brain, making them unique compared to those of the thoracic and lumbar vertebrae. And the thoracic is T1 through T12, and there's 12 bones in it. So the spinous process is this part of the vertebrate, the bone that comes down, the pointy part. The transverse is the side, this part right there. The intervertebral foramen is in the middle here, and the spinal cord passes through that. Uh, the body or centrum is this part right here, and the position of intervertebral discs is just these in between. Uh, and then the lumbar vertebrae consists of 5 bones, and they would be these ones right here. And this is the sacrum, and 5 vertebrae fused together to form the sacrum, and the coccyx is right here. Sternum, this is the sternum, and the manubrium is right here. The body is here. The xiphoid process is here. And the jugular notch is here. For the ribs, the vertebral sternal, which are the true ribs, are ribs 1 through 7. And then the false ribs are 8 through 12. And the vertebral or floating ribs are these ones right here. And the head of the rib is here. And the neck is here. And the articular facet or the tubercle is right in here. Can't really see it on this. And then the wedge-shaped head, the posterior end, articulates with the vertebral bodies by 2 facets. One joins the body of the same number thoracic vertebrae, and the other articulates with the body of the vertebrae immediately superior.